yourself. Baby. Oh, looks like it.
Hey guys, welcome back. How are all you loyal movie recap viewers doing? Have you ever bought a DVD and watched a movie together with friends and family? If so, you're definitely no stranger to this particular found footage horror film. That's right. I'm talking about Paranormal Activity from 2007, a movie with many sequels. If you agree, we're going to have a marathon discussing this film all the way to its final sequel. Alright, instead of talking too much, let's just jump right into it. And if you like this channel, as always, don't forget to subscribe. On September 18, 2006, in a town east of San Diego, with his brand new camera, a man named Michael immediately greets his sexy girlfriend named Ketty.
Big and impressive and has a...
Jokingly, he says he's going to make a daily vlog titled, Fight First, Then Marry. Who knows? Maybe his video could go viral on YouTube. Hearing her boyfriend's silly antics, the woman just smiles and heads into the room to put away her things.
Whatever happens to us.
Long story short, while cooking, a curious Michael asks why they bought a house in such a simple neighborhood. After all, in his opinion, his girlfriend's trading money is more than enough to buy a much fancier house in California. No wonder Ketty is so charmed by him. As it turns out, Michael is a trader at the peak of his success. Even so, this house has been her dream home for a long time. In the middle of their conversation, Ketty even jokes around, asking him to buy her an iPhone, which is rumored to be released the following year, 2007. A little while later, as the woman is knitting, she suddenly falls silent because she hears a strange noise coming from the kitchen. Hearing this, Michael immediately goes to check it out. Ah, it's probably just Jerry messing around, he says. Not finding anything suspicious, Michael doesn't think much of it. But not long after, the mood changes again. Blushing with embarrassment, Michael then invites his girlfriend to go to the bedroom.
Yeah, the Venus, hey, go back in.
Like a cameraman for a Daredevil reality show, Michael kept recording nearly all of their activities. Katie began to feel uncomfortable because everything she did ended up on camera. But Michael said that besides being a trader, he also wanted to try his luck as a YouTuber.
Yeah, I think it's good.
The night grew later. At exactly 12 a.m., Michael and Katie finally fell asleep, with the camera still recording the inside of the house. But around 2 a.m., the camera captured the sound of mysterious footsteps coming from downstairs. What could that noise be? Had someone broken into the house?
What?
Park on my keys.
What?
What do you want for breakfast?
The next morning, Katie was puzzled when she found her car keys just lying on the floor. However, Michael thought it was possible they had simply forgotten and accidentally dropped the keys earlier. That afternoon, Michael was busy monitoring his trading activities, hoping to make a big profit so he could eventually buy her a new car. As evening came, Michael invited Katie to relax a bit. Lately, he had been feeling quite tired and wanted to spend some quality time alone with his girlfriend. Hearing that, Katie laid down a condition. Besides asking for the iPhone that would be released next year, she also wanted him to buy her an expensive bag. Michael, of course, immediately agreed to her request. A moment later, after only about 2 minutes of activity, Michael was already exhausted. As a result, they decided to just rest and go to sleep. Whether due to a draft of wind or something else entirely, Michael's camera suddenly recorded the bedroom door moving on its own. Not only that, but a faint sound could also be heard from downstairs. One that was hard to make out clearly. For those who didn't catch it, try using headphones to make the sound more distinct. The next morning, Michael and Katie were shocked when they saw the strange footage recorded while they were asleep all night. Katie, now starting to be overcome with fear, suspected that the house they had bought might be haunted. After all, the house had indeed been sold at a very low price. Nevertheless, Michael tried to calm Katie down and assured her that there had to be a logical explanation for everything. It was possible that the previous night's incident was simply due to a loose door hinge.
Your master plan is to move the...
Long story short, the curious Michael began studying various types of demons from a book he had bought. In his opinion, it was possible that a supernatural entity was indeed dwelling in the house. Hearing this, a worried Katie warned Michael that they should move house immediately. Before going to sleep, Katie asked them to check every corner of the house. Moreover, that night she had a very bad feeling.
Anything gets in here, we're gonna know about it. All right.
Entering the fifth night, Michael was suddenly startled when Katie woke up abruptly. With a panicked face, Katie said that she had just experienced something strange while sleeping. Not long after, they also heard a ruckus coming from downstairs. Annoyed, Michael immediately tried to check it out.
Anyone down here?
Unfortunately, after checking the entire area, he found nothing suspicious. Finding nothing, Michael invited Katie to go back to rest. Even so, Katie still looked very frightened. Michael kept trying to calm his girlfriend down, so she wouldn't dwell too much on the incident. The next day, Katie's fear led her to invite her friend Amber over to lighten the mood. After hearing the whole story from Katie, a curious Amber asked Michael to show her the footage he had managed to record. Not long after watching the footage, Michael explained that the sound recorded wasn't one they normally heard in daily life. Amber then became convinced that the house indeed held something unnatural. However, instead of choosing to move, Michael, now becoming obsessed with his content, felt that the presence of this mysterious entity could be used to make his vlog even more interesting. The following night, Michael even deliberately challenged the entity to reveal its form. Hearing this, a terrified Katie immediately tried to stop Michael's reckless action.
You're out.
Hey, that's enough!
Your demon's worthless. You're worthless.
Camera away.
At 3 a.m., Katie woke up after hearing a thumping sound coming from downstairs. As they tried to listen more carefully, something they had just been discussing seemed to actually happen. Michael was immediately startled when he heard a terrifying scream shattering the silence of the night. In the midst of their panic, they checked every corner of the house again.
Hey, please, keep on your go. Keep on your go.
God, noise, so. Good, baby? Oh, looks like it.
Yet once more, the mysterious sound seemed to be toying with them. Every time they searched for it, the source of the sound was never found. The incident left them both unable to sleep until morning. The next day, Katie again asked Michael to stop his supernatural documentation activities in the house. She also suggested once more that they should move out immediately before something worse happened. But as before, Michael refused. He wanted to prove whether this mysterious figure could truly reveal itself or merely produce strange sounds from unknown origins. Michael then tried to calm Katie down. In his opinion, there had never been a story about a supernatural creature actually killing a human being. That afternoon, Michael attempted to interact by asking the entity to respond to his questions.
You happy you're talking with the Ouija board? Do you have something to say in English this time? To say in English this time with the Ouija board? What is your quest? Where did you come from? You have something? Whoa.
After several attempts to communicate, they were suddenly startled when they heard a sound that seemed to respond to the questions asked. Hearing that, Katie suggested they use a Ouija board to try communicating with the figure. Entering the 15th night, Katie suddenly woke up in an unusual state. After standing still for nearly 2 hours, she slowly left the bedroom and walked toward the downstairs. A moment later, Michael woke up and was suddenly shocked. He immediately realized that Katie was no longer in the room and quickly searched for her throughout the house.
Katie! Katie!
Michael was immediately puzzled when he found Katie sitting blankly outside the house. Without wasting any time, he quickly ushered her inside. Especially since the clothes Katie was wearing at the time were quite revealing, which made Michael even more worried. But with an empty stare, Katie seemed difficult to talk to. While Michael was trying to persuade her,
Who's that?
he was startled again when the television in their room suddenly turned on by itself. As if not remembering what she had done, Katie just stared at the television screen in confusion. After the atmosphere calmed down a bit, Michael invited her to go back to sleep.
You don't remember standing there like that's, you don't.
The next morning, Katie looked incredulous when she heard what had happened the night before. She had no memory at all of standing for nearly 2 hours and then being outside the house in minimal clothing. The last thing she remembered was the two of them watching television before going to sleep. A moment later, Katie began to have a bad feeling. She again asked Michael to stop all efforts related to the mysterious entity. But Michael thought that what had happened the night before was merely a case of Katie sleepwalking. To cheer up his girlfriend, Michael planned to take her out for dinner. Before leaving, they set up a Ouija board in the living room. Michael even joked that who knows, maybe by the time they got back, the board would have moved on its own.
I'm leaving and you're coming here.
As evening approached, they left the house. But around 11 p.m., when Michael and Katie had just returned, they were immediately shocked to see the condition of the Ouija board. It looked as if it had been burned. Charred marks were clearly visible around it. Seeing this, Katie became even more convinced that something was indeed wrong with the house. Once back in the bedroom, the uneasy feeling she had felt before returned and made it even harder for her to calm down. Due to Michael's increasingly excessive behavior, Katie ended up asking him to sleep outside the bedroom and not to expect any intimacy for the next month. The next day, a still curious Michael tried to decipher the message that the entity wanted to convey through the Ouija board. When Katie came over, Michael asked his girlfriend to listen to him first. In his opinion, the figure seemed to be writing the name Diana. But Katie, who didn't recognize that name at all, only grew more annoyed. All she wanted at that moment was to leave that haunted house as soon as possible and start living peacefully somewhere else. As the day turned to evening, Michael asked Katie for permission to sprinkle powder on the second floor. His goal was to prove whether the mysterious figure was truly roaming inside their house. Although annoyed, Katie, who had thus far gone along with Michael's various experiments.
Exactly what is this going to prove? Looks like our floor is covered with powder. Tomorrow, I'm making the call.
Pretty good too.
Reluctantly agreed to his request. After the entire floor was sprinkled with powder, its surface looked like it was covered in a thin white layer. After sprinkling the powder, Michael again tried to calm Katie down. He promised to protect his girlfriend no matter what happened that night.
Last thing.
But as dawn approached, around 3 a.m., they experienced another strange incident. After checking the situation, both were shocked to find mysterious claw marks clearly imprinted on top of the powder. Even though his knees began to tremble with fear, Michael still mustered the courage to follow the direction of the tracks.
Where did the prints stop over here?
Oh my God!
Not long after, they found the access to the attic in an open state. This discovery made them both worried. They thought that perhaps all this time, someone had been secretly living in the house without their knowledge. Not wanting to continue living in fear, Michael finally decided to inspect the attic himself.
Yeah, camera and jump out, okay? Fuck is that? I'll be right back.
Mika, please, come on.
In the middle of his inspection, Michael was suddenly puzzled when he found an old photograph lying there in the attic.
I found this up there.
But before he could understand the meaning of the photo, Katie's panicked scream suddenly rang out, calling his name. Katie couldn't believe it. Moreover, she hadn't seen that photo in nearly 15 years. So how could it possibly be in this house they had just moved into? The next day, Michael immediately showed the footage of the mysterious claw marks that the camera had captured. The worsening situation made Katie feel like she couldn't take it anymore. With a hopeless tone, she said that she wanted to go back to her family's house for a while. Katie apologized for no longer being strong enough to stay with Michael in that house. But Michael, not wanting to lose his girlfriend, finally begged Katie to give him a little more time. He asked for a chance until the weekend to take care of their move. Michael even promised to buy a much more comfortable and luxurious house after they left that place. Even though she was at the end of her patience, Katie finally decided to hold on for a while and give Michael one last chance. But the following night, the disturbances they experienced became even more extreme.
Show yourself! Whoa.
Terrifying sounds were again heard clearly from downstairs. With no other choice, they could only stay in the bedroom, hoping that the night would soon pass. The next morning, Michael began to worry when he saw Katie's condition, which looked very bad. Her face appeared tired, listless, and like someone who had lost all peace in her life. With a weak voice, Katie said that she could no longer do anything except wait for Michael's decision to leave the house immediately. Turned out that Michael was in a dilemma. On one hand, he wanted to find answers to all the strange events. But on the other hand, he didn't want to see Katie continue to suffer from fear. Unable to bear the mounting pressure, Katie could only cry.
What the fuck is that?
Not long after, both were startled by the sound of something breaking coming from the second floor.
Our picture!
Whether it was some kind of premonition, they immediately felt a sense of dread. That feeling grew stronger when they saw that Katie's keepsake photo had shattered, as if destroyed by something invisible. A few moments later, Katie suddenly got goosebumps because she felt a breath right behind her neck. Seeing his girlfriend's reaction, Michael panicked and immediately checked their surroundings. But as with previous incidents, there was no one to be seen there. After checking, Michael said that the entity was truly a coward because it only dared to bother a woman. Whatever was actually going through Michael's mind, he still insisted on staying in that house. That night, the camera suddenly captured the apparition of a black shadow passing through the house. Not long after, Katie woke up because she felt like someone was touching her. As usual, Michael, trying to appear calm, immediately checked their surroundings. But after checking for a while, he again said that there was nothing there. The next day, Katie admitted that she was starting to feel like she was going crazy dealing with all the events that kept happening. Hearing that, Michael invited her to look at the footage they had managed to get the night before. Michael himself began to not understand why the figure seemed to only target Katie. Throughout all the events, he had almost never experienced any disturbance directly. Then, that afternoon, Michael showed Katie an article about a figure named Diana, the name that had previously been written out through the Ouija board. According to the article, Diana was a victim of an evil entity's disturbances in 1966. But unfortunately, her condition only worsened when her family tried to call a priest to perform an exorcism ritual. In the end, Diana died after experiencing severe bleeding across nearly her entire body.
No, no!
I think this thing's trying to work.
Even though the story sounded terrifying, Michael still tried to connect it to the various events they were experiencing. Entering the 20th night, the black shadow figure appeared again. As before, the entity once again targeted Katie. Fortunately, Michael was still able to save his girlfriend just before the black shadow figure disappeared. After that incident, a truly terrified Katie begged Michael to leave that house immediately. Seeing Katie's worsening condition, Michael finally began to relent. He planned to stay at a hotel temporarily until the movers arrived to help with their relocation. But just as that decision was being made, Michael was once again startled by something unexpected. Michael was immediately shocked when he saw very severe bite marks on Katie's body. Seeing her condition, he became even more confused about what was actually happening. Could it be that the entity had also become obsessed with Katie? The next day, Michael was again puzzled when he saw Katie looking lazy and reluctant to go to the hotel. Even though earlier, she had been the one most insistent that they leave that house immediately. With an unusual expression, Katie even said that she already felt comfortable living in that house. Hearing that, Michael was completely at a loss. He didn't understand why Katie's attitude had changed so drastically in such a short time. Not long after, she walked out of the bedroom. Meanwhile, Michael, still unaware of the danger lurking, continued acting as usual and kept challenging the creature's existence. Long story short, according to police records, 3 days after that incident, authorities found Michael's lifeless body lying in the bedroom of that house. Katie's whereabouts, to this day, remain unknown. And this is where the film ends. What do you think? Pretty terrifying, right? What do you think actually happened to Katie? Is she still alive, or has she been fully possessed by that mysterious entity? Okay guys, that's it for the review and discussion of the 2007 film Paranormal Activity. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any other interesting upcoming videos.